Hey guys, if you've been watching any sort of pro play, then you know Galio is a great support that brings a lot of AoE CC to team fights, making him very useful throughout the game. His taunt gives him a damage reduction, making him able to withstand a lot of damage, and is a great engage tool, especially with flash. Let's go over how to play Galio support.
And the devil shall appear.
So why pick Galio? Well, for starters, his base damage is high, so if you hit a full combo on an ADC support, they'll lose around 40 to 50% of their HP, not to mention the amount of CC you'll put on them. Galio is also great for countering dives and diving himself with his ultimate. And given the current standing of the meta, as a support, he has so many pros with almost no cons. Some of the pros include he's especially tanky with his W damage reduction, easy to roam and follow up on engages with his ultimate that synergizes really well with champions like Jarvan and Gnar who will engage for you. He's got loads of CCs and he can set up the ganks easily. What makes him this great is the fact that his cons are very few to any. The only cons he really has is that his damage isn't high mid to late game, but that's because you're building tank. As a support, that's normal. It can feel very weak when you fall behind, and it's hard to have lane presence against certain matchup, which I'll get into later in the video. For some of the spells, you can only really take Ignite and Flash, as most supports often do, but you can bring Exhaust if you're against a Rengar or Zed and you have a hard time with them. But Exhaust is pretty weak, so for the most part you want to bring Ignite and Flash. For Ruins, you have to go Aftershock, and your second line of resolve Demolish. And your third line, this is where it gets situational. You can take Conditioning, as it increases your armor magic resist by 8 after the 10-minute mark. My bad. It also increases your armor magic resist by 5% flat, which is amazing, especially when combined with Aftershock and your W. Or you could also take Second Wind if you're in a heavy poke matchup, let's say Soraka or Vel'Koz, any sort of damage poke mage support. And then for the third line, it would have to be Overgrowth, as it just got buff and now it gives even more HP and seems like the best rune overall for Galio. And this is where stuff gets a little bit tricky. See, for me, the second rune page I like to take is Magical Footwear and Minion Demilitarizer. The reason why I like to take Magical Boots and Minion Demilitarizer is I like having the free boots and the movement speed increase, and the Minion Demilitarizer is so good in higher ranks with wave control, taking out cannons, and gives you wave clear when your ADC isn't around and you've already used your charges up. But you could take really anything here. I just suggest this rune page.
Mortals.
Alright, let's start with abilities. So we're going to start with Galio's passive called Colossal Smash, which makes Galio's next basic ability deal a large amount of damage in the area around. And this passive is really good for trading, and since it does a lot of damage and since it's AoE. But the second part of this passive is Galio's passive gets reduced for 4 seconds for every ability he hits. And we have to keep this in mind later for when we're trying to combo people down for more damage. As you can see here, the more abilities you hit, the faster it's up. It's a flat 4 seconds for every ability you hit. Next ability is Galio's Q, Winds of War. Winds of War is a very different ability than most abilities in the league. As you can see, it has a different kind of skill shot. First part is the wind, and then at the tornado. This ability is super strong as it does a good amount of damage early game, especially off this whirlwind and collision part, as it does 6 max HP damage over 1.5 seconds. And be using this as your main trade tool and to reset your auto attack passive. This next ability for Galio is his W, Shield of Duran. Now this is the bread and butter for Galio's support and why he's so strong and good. So you could hold up to W to charge up Shield of Duran, and the longer you charge it up, it goes further out and the longer the taunt is on the enemy. If you shortcast it, taunt won't be as strong and the damage reduction buff won't last as long. While doing Shield of Duran, you get a damage buff, which is indicated by this circle, which gives you a flat increase of 20 to 20% armor and magic resist, up to scaling with level and its own scaling. This ability is really good because while if you were about to be CC'd, he keeps channeling, so you keep the damage reduction going. And the passive component of Shield of Duran is this purple little health bar you see. Every so often when Galio isn't taking damage, he gets this magic absorbing shield to help reduce any incoming poke damage. And this ability right here is the reason why Galio support is so good. Especially with how you could engage and reset your auto attack passive for a combo. A quick combo you could do is you could walk up to let's say they walk up to you and you're in the bush. You walk up, taunt, Q, instant reset your passive. So you do a lot of damage to enemy bot lane by just coming up to them, waiting for your passive to come up, smacking them, taunt, Q, pass back up. That's a really quick combo to do for a lot of burst damage in the early game. And with that, we move into Galio's next basic ability called Justice Punch, his E. This ability allows Galio to wind up into a dash. When hitting the first enemy he comes up to, he knocks them up. This ability does not allow Galio to dash through walls, even if they're short or big. And this ability is important because not only is this your main way to engage, but this is a huge combo potential. Since your passive is only an 8-second cooldown, every ability has 4 seconds reduced. You can come up to someone, get auto, or if you don't have the chance to walk up to them because they're being too aggressive on you, then you could open it up yourself by eating into them, auto, before they fall, taunt them, Q, pass it back up, boom. That's a really nice combo because then you go E, auto, W, Q, auto. That's a lot of damage and you get 2 passive procs from there. And they can't escape this is a true combo. Another great neat trick about the Galio's E is, as you can see, this isn't just a knock-up. Every time I knock up this dummy, he's getting slightly pushed. This could be a bad thing if you're in the bot lane and he gets too pushed into the brush and he doesn't see him anymore. So a good way to use your E is to use it backwards like this. Since Galio takes a step back, his model will be on top of him, his hitbox. So then he'll hit the enemy, and this way, instead of just knocking him up and away, he knocks up and closer. And your enemies will never expect that. You can walk up and do this, and your enemies will expect it and see it, and they'll flash it. Doing this tactic, your enemies have way less time to react, and this is better for your ADC since it's pushing them towards you. So if they flash, they're not going to get any distance. They're just going to go right back to where they started. And the hitbox is very generous, as you can stand right here and you can still hit them. As long as any part of your model's on top of them, even just your tail, this works. And the last ability of Galio's ultimate is Hero's Entrance. Galio can target any of his allies, which then makes him leap up into the air and come crashing down to protect them. This does a flat amount of damage, scales with AP and magic resist. The closer an enemy is to the inner circle, the longer they are knocked up, as seen right here. Very lengthy lockup. Now, as you see, it has a long windup, but once you get in the air, you have you're invincible, so you can dodge CC, and this is pretty much your only form of escape, since you don't really have anything else. It's all about going all in, and this is exactly why Galio is so meta right now. You have engaged champions like Jarvan that are really strong in the jungle. You know, Jarvan goes in, knocks them all up, keeps them in his ult. You get ult on top of Jarvan. Everyone's knocked up. You can taunt them all. This is such a good follow-up. You're super tanky. They can't get to your team. This is exactly why Galio has become such a dominant support. For items, there's not too much to talk about because you'll be running most of the basic support items such as Eye of Aspect, Knight's Vow, Locket, Redemption, Zeke's maybe. But there are some few notable exceptions here, such as Righteous Glory. This item is good when your team does not have a strong initiator, such as Jarvan or Gnar. So you could press your Righteous Glory and run right up to them and start charging up your W without having to use your E or flash. And then baiting out all their flashes while Righteous Glory is still going off. So then you could follow their flash with your own flash and get all the taunt and allowing them to all waste their flash. And another notable exception would be Randuin's Omen. Not only is it great because it gives high amounts of armor, HP, reduces crit strike, and makes auto attackers slow their attack speed, but the slow active is also great for Galio, as this is good for any time you need to engage. You know, you taunt them up, you flash taunt, and then you can activate their enemies slow, so they're slowed for 2 seconds after the 2-second taunt, which is absolutely dreadful to play against. You would never want to play against that. But other than that, you could build pretty much in the basic support items. Knight's Vow is like core, Eye of Aspect, Locket of Iron. Although Zeke's and Redemption aren't the best on them, both stat-wise and active, they're a little funky to use, but you can still build them if you need them. Other than that, thank you very much for checking out my 9.8 guide on how to play Galio support. And this is my first actual video, and I hope to make more videos like this on hopefully a weekly basis. So if you guys have any suggestions for any other champion guides or analysis or just stream highlights they might want to see, let me know in the comments down below. And I also like to remind you guys that I stream on Twitch every other day of the week, which you can find in the description down below.